It's the OGR podcast.
We're gonna wing it. I just hit
That's
record.
that's the vibe.
It
That's the
really,
vibe
it
tonight.
really is the vibe.
That is the vibe.
It's been a while. It's been a little while.
It's been a while. I'm glad you're back. I missed you, bud. How are you? You doing okay?
I'm good. I
Good.
was so busy with stuff, like with all
Yeah.
these like different projects I was doing. I've done like some influencer stuff, which of course is one of the cringiest
Yeah.
words known to man. But hey, I really like it actually. I feel like this is
Good.
something
Good.
I could talk about. I could talk about how when I first started making music, of course I wanted to be like I was a sad boy playing guitar, and I wanted to be Dallas Green from City and Color. I wanted to write songs and sit there and sing about how sad I was. And then at at a certain point that changed, and I decided I wanted to be a cool rapper, and I wanted to be a rock star, and I wanted to be cool and make awesome music. And then that changed, and I was like, let's make Canadian remixes because this is fun, this is easy, this is sort of low stress, it makes people happy, it's great. And
Canada.
yeah, and now it's like I really like writing jingles for companies. And I don't know if it's like my thing that I want to do forever, but
Yeah.
it's really fun. I'm pretty good at it. It actually pays money, unlike most things to do with music. And
Oh, you're really good at it because Mary Brown's has been stuck in my head for the past 6 fucking days.
and
So, to be honest with you, you're pretty good at it.
cool. Yeah, I mean, I think that I don't know, it plays to my strengths, and there's nothing wrong with changing your path, changing your mind. This is how I'm working towards something broader with this. Is like it's just a reminder to me that you shouldn't be afraid to make adjustments to the plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel
Yeah.
like I don't know. It's an ego thing, honestly, for me, and I'm sure for a lot of
Yeah.
people. To everybody sort of gets told that if you flip flop, if you go back on your word, that's a weakness, that's a flaw. But I think that having the something, I don't know what the word, having the it's a different type of bravery to go, things have changed, or I was wrong, or we found a better option. And like those are all really smart things to say. Those are all great things to do. But I guess we sort of get told that like being stubborn is good because I don't know, be fierce, be all that crap. But it's like life changes.
Hmm.
How you feeling about that?
Oof. You're hitting me in a soft spot right now.
I'm sorry. I kind of
Um,
knew as I was saying, I was like, I know you're going through changes right now, so yeah.
yeah, no, I was listening to you and I was just like,
Mm.
So, not as much as I don't want to talk about it, but it's
Yeah.
like hard for me at the moment because I'm not quite sure what the change is. Um, and so that's been quite difficult, I think, for me to really feel like I can, take the bull by its horns for whatever you want to call that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't exactly know where I'm going.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know. I'm kind of just driving and hoping I get there wherever it is. Yeah,
That's
it's really tough right now.
the weirdest
But
place to be.
it is what it is. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
for me, I feel like I don't know if I just don't realize I'm in that area. Like I don't know how you find direction I
I'm
really don't
coasting,
know.
for lack of a better term.
So,
I'm
sorry.
coasting. I'm coasting.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like I feel like just driving and trying to see where you go is it's not the worst strategy. Like
Yeah.
you could just lay on your back and be like, I'm done. I'm just gonna lay here for and lots of people do that. And you know what? The good news is that you can do that and still have a really good life. Not to say that I wish for people to settle for that, but I feel like sometimes the stakes aren't as high as maybe we think they are. Even though it feel like it that doesn't help to say. I know that feeling of like, my life. I need to use my life. I need to take advantage of it. Time is it's just
Mhm.
sort of like
Mhm.
uh, an urgency, which is can be really good to sort of get you going. But at the end of the day, I mean, the worst case scenario. This is gonna like be just super silly, but like I don't know. What if you like live on the streets and become homeless? Lots of people
Yeah.
do that, you know? It's like, what
Mhm.
if you work at a job that you hate? Well, lots of people do that for a long time and then they leave the job. Like, it's not like it's so hard to not personalize your past. And that's funny because that comes back exactly to what I was saying before, and that's why I wanted to take it there. But like, it's so hard to look at everything you've been through and be aware of how it's made you who you are, but also understand that it has no power over you. You can, I feel like anybody who's like quit a sport or dropped out of college or like broken up in a relationship or made any big change in your life sort of gets that feeling that everybody sees you in a certain way, you see yourself in a certain way, and you can go 180 whenever you want.
Oof.
And like there's no pressure. There's
I
the
hate that you're right.
it's so but like I don't have any answers. And of course like that's no surprise that I don't have any answers, but I I feel like this is just like the topic that's coming to me is sense of self and the things that we use to build up our sense of self and like using your past to build up a sense of self. Like how do you avoid that? I don't know that you should avoid it entirely, but just being able to take a step back and being like the places that I've been aren't aren't me. The things that I've done aren't me. I can you can be whoever you want. It's weird.
Hmm. Hmm. I don't know what else to say.
For me, I'm thinking about
Ooh.
Chris says stop calling me out too, so just be happy that
I no, this is definitely where we need to be right now.
yeah.
This is definitely where we need to be right now. I'm just trying to reminisce a little bit on like what specifically I feel like I'm attaching to myself.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like a good start, a thing that comes to my mind is do you feel like it's your own perception of yourself or do you feel like it's other people's perception of you?
Hmm.
Because it could be both, but I feel like both are worth a lot of thought in terms of I know personally whenever I want to do something radically different, which sometimes I do, and I've done recently in some ways. Sometimes when you make a big change in your life, it's hard because you think, what are my friends going? What's my family gonna think of me when I just do a complete 180 and they're like, "Whoa, Shane's lost his mind." You know, that pressure is real. For me, it's really real. And
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah,
Shane's lost his mind.
yeah. but in a
Yeah.
different way this time. That's what they'll say. I was like, I know that they know I've lost my mind
Yeah.
in many a way, but
A
when I
while
lose my
ago.
mind in a new way, they're like, whoa, here he goes again. No, it's when I
Hmm,
yeah,
I don't know.
I was just gonna say that when I was done university and was like, I'm gonna try this music thing, and even before that, when I quit volleyball and was like, I'm not gonna play volleyball in my last year of university, even though I was going to be sort of like captain, starting lineup, all these things that you'd been working for forever. In my last year, I was just, I don't know what it was. I guess I'd been working on it in the shadows for years and years. Like I'd been doing music since I was young, and I've been doing more and more music. And eventually, I got to that point where I could make that step, and it almost felt like everything I'd been doing had been just slowly accumulating the bravery that I needed to make that big move. And
Yeah.
because it's hard, it's so hard to just be like, it's so hard to make a big public change. And then that, if I hadn't made that choice, I don't know if I would have been able to make the shift to just doing music when I graduated university. Um, and that's a crazy timeline to think about. I'm glad that I'm here. I'm glad that I'm doing music. And yeah, I guess my point is that um, it it takes small acts of bravery to sort of practice, I guess. Like that leap of faith is really hard. It's really hard.
Hmm.
And yeah, I I, I just think that
Yeah.
sorry. If you have anything to say, please let me know.
No, all I was gonna say was just that, like, earlier you had said, "Oh, well, are you more concerned about your perception of yourself or, like, the perception that other people have of you?" And I'm concerned this is so and this sounds silly now the more I'm thinking about it. I'm concerned about my perception of other people's perception of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
really interesting. And it's super realistic. Like I don't
Mhm.
actually care what they think about me.
I don't.
It's just that I care when I know about it and when I see it and when it like
Yeah.
is radiating at me.
Yeah.
Like yeah, they can go talk about me behind my back, but I just
Yeah.
don't want the yeah.
Yeah.
Um
I don't know.
yeah.
And it's career related, like, it's all career path related, it's not, like, friend relationship or, like, me physically needing to cut my hair type shit. It's really just, like, the rest of my life.
Yeah. I think that God, there's so many things you can do
I know.
that we can all do. One thing that I think is good that I probably don't do enough is working on the things that don't need work, just in terms of like my career is stressing me out. I don't know what to do. And it seems so like I've been there like for sure with music, and it's so counterintuitive, but I've done it so many times where it's like music is stressing me out. I feel like I'm a failure. Let's go hang out with my friends. And the sort of temporary like now analytical is just like, what, no, we have to keep working, we have to keep thinking, we have to like uh, I know there's an answer at the bottom of this thought loop, but it's like yeah, sometimes it's just you just leave it, which
Yeah.
seems counterintuitive, but it just works.
No, I think that's where I'm at, I think I just need to, like, just kind of keep doing it, but not, like, putting 1,000% effort into it and just kinda, let it sit for a while.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Anyway, now that this turned into a therapy session.
no. My mom has said this to me so many times. whenever I'm going through something difficult and I don't know what to do, so often she'll say, I don't know how many times in my life, Shane, I've had a big decision that I didn't know what to do and I just did nothing. And then
Yeah.
eventually something came along that sort of made the choice for me, and it all worked out and it was just fine. And she's just
Hmm.
like, the more and more that like I get older, she says, she's just like, I just, when I don't know what's going on, I just leave things, and lots of times they work themselves out. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But now I've started to do it, and it works. So it's like
Hmm.
sometimes it just needs a little time.
All right. Well, maybe she's right. All right. All right. Mama Kimber with that
Yeah,
OG advice there. Maybe she's right. She might be onto something. I don't know.
Mama Kimber is on it for real. I was trying to see if I could. Every time I see my like cheek here that's just white, I think, what would Prof think of the overexposed lighting?
I know he's gonna comment on it. He's gonna comment on it. He already told me I need to fix lighting.
I think your lighting is very consistent today. It's beautiful.
It's good today, but in the past it's been not good. And he's like, "Stop looking up. You're every time you look up, it reflects off your glasses. It's distracting to people." Or, "Oh, stop moving side to side." Or, "Oh, Haley's light is good today." Yeah, it's good today, Prof. Because I worked on it
Yeah.
before I got on here because I knew you were gonna bully me if I didn't fix it.
You know what? Sometimes a little bit of bullying goes a long way. You
He
can
bullies me out of love.
yeah, you can you can argue, you can hate on bullying all that you want, but the results of bullying speak for themselves.
Dude,
Look at this lighting.
in this
Look at it.
situation. Here, yes.
No, no, no. In many situations, bullying is wrong.
Yeah, I
Call
was
it a
about to
hot take,
say.
but I think that sometimes bullying is wrong. Don't cancel me.
Sometimes?
Sometimes bullying is wrong.
Okay. Only sometimes, though.
Yeah. Honestly,
And other times it's okay.
the problem with bullying is just like there's always like a tiny tad of useful truth at the bottom of bullying that's just like, and that's what really makes it hurt. Like if people are just being dicks for for no reason, then that's one thing. But like if bullies could just be like, instead of being jerks, they could just be like, hey, you're acting weird. If you would conform to these social norms, then we wouldn't bully you anymore. But if you want to go against those social norms, that's okay too. Like that's, but instead they're just like, hey, dweeb, nice glasses. And then it's just like, I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at this in the chat, and Max says, bow down to Haley, Captain Crisis. Crisis team assemble. Roll out. I just don't know well, I mean, I guess it makes sense as to why I would be Captain Crisis, especially tonight after opening with I don't know where my life's going.
You know what? I spent the better part of 5 years not knowing where my life was going. And I guess I didn't know. I didn't have anything except like a desire for what I wanted to do. And it wasn't much, but like it was something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like I like
Yeah.
making music. That's pretty much all I had for a long time. Not all I had. I mean, life was good. Life was, but like while other people were paying off their student loans and traveling and getting engaged and all these things, I was just like
Yeah.
making beats. And a lot of times it was hard to not doubt myself. Um, yeah, I mean, and I feel like I've had, for some reason early on, I had a sense of direction. Like from when I was young, I had things that I liked. Um,
Yeah.
and not everybody has that, so I don't know.
I did, and then I just kind of like let them go away,
Yeah.
I think, to try and like redevelop myself
Mm,
into something other than what I was when I was younger.
yeah.
And the more I get older, the more I'm realizing that I never should have let go of them,
Yeah.
I think is what it is.
Hmm.
So I should probably get back on that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I agree.
Yeah.
That
But just knowing that I have your support means a lot. I mean,
cool.
it means a lot.
You have our support, chat. The
Yes, thank you, chat.
one thing, I think that I'm old enough now to have gone through multiple sort of phases in my life, which is really nice because I can see that there's sort of like that age of childhood inspirations, things like that, that I wanted to get back to. And I think that I've done that to an extent in a lot of ways. And now I'm also seeing that awkward in between phase where I went away from that was also super useful.
Yeah.
And all of the things that like I went away from, like maybe who I truly was as I sort of developed into a teenager and an adult because society was playing more influence on me. And now I'm like, hey, I want to look beneath that influence and understand who I truly am. And that's really good. But I'm also going back and being like, okay, all of those things that I learned along the way are also super useful. I guess you get to a point where you realize that there's no such thing as wasted time. And that's the thing that I want to
Yeah.
like get across is that you shouldn't never feel like you're wasting time. There's no such thing.
Hmm.
Because I think that's for me. I know we're similar in the way that we think a lot of times. For me,
A little
wasted
too
time.
much.
Wasted time is one of the things that just like burns a hole in my stomach and is like, I need it now. I need to go. I need to go. I need to go. And I don't know.
Yeah. Mhm.
It, yeah.
Yeah. Fuck, man. It's not even like I'm not I don't know how to explain it. It's this feeling of like, "Oh my god, I have so much I need to do." But then when I like look back to analyze like, "Okay, well, make a list. What needs to get done?" And there's literally nothing to put on the list. So like I feel so overwhelmed that I need to get everything done at one time when there's literally like nothing to get done.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why. I don't know. It's weird though. It's weird.
This sounds reminiscent of an era in my life when I was basically just overwhelmed with the freedom of existence. I, I had this
Yeah.
urgency
Yeah.
to go somewhere, and I was so overwhelmed with the fact that I could go anywhere.
Yeah.
And you feel like you want to sprint, but you don't know if you start sprinting if you're going to be going in the right direction. And it's
That's kind of how I feel.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
No, not so long ago I was in that phase big time. I'm apparently I'm calling out Max right now too. Um
What did you do? Wait, okay, so I have two questions for you. One, was that post Thomas or pre Thomas?
oh,
Well, no, no, let me rephrase that. Was that post ancient or pre ancient?
super post.
Okay.
Yeah. Um
Yeah.
the first time that I was in the ancient I was like around the time I started making music, like early teens.
Yeah.
Um I'm talking I'm talking 2020.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
talking 2021. Even like parts of like uh, I feel like just now in the last 6 months I've really been coming out of that phase. Like the better
Yeah.
part of like I would say graduating in 2018 to now has been sort of this getting out of I don't know, just being like struck by adulthood and that freedom, and it's just like
Yeah.
ah and I guess instead of just grabbing onto something like being like oh, this is scary. Let me just like get a 9 to 5 or not. Wait a minute. I have no problem with 9 to 5s, and I don't want to sound like the oh you gotta be an like the grindy beta alpha male whatever the whole thing is online. Um, there's nothing
Oh,
wrong
yeah.
with a 9 to 5. In fact, 9 to 5s are like typically way better than like if you have a passion for something and you can work a 9 to 5, you like that's the lottery. That's incredible. That's amazing.
Possibly.
Like
As a person who works a 7 to 7 right now, I can tell you,
yeah, I mean,
it's not all it's cracked up to be.
but like if you have something that I don't know, uh, it's like that. Um,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna complain about the way that I live because it's nice, but just I mean I remember working at the pool. Like it was shift work, so it wasn't even like a steady schedule, but there's a really nice rhythm to just being like, all right, I'm gonna go to work, do my work. I didn't hate my work.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, work was good. Go home, do my own thing for a little while. I'm just like, all right, I don't know, but I guess what I was going to say before I did the whole 9 to 5 thing was something, and I forgot where I was going because I got distracted by me like saying 9 to 5 as if it was a bad thing. um, right. So I got out of university and then I sort of had a direction I wanted to go, but it was a scary direction. And I just sort of kept like tiptoeing in that direction and being like, ah, this is scary, this is scary, this is scary. But I kept tiptoeing and I made progress. Like it's okay to make slow, monotonous, frustratingly unobservable progress. Because
Yeah, and
yeah,
I feel like I do, like, I don't give myself enough credit for the progress that I've made, I think. And so I think that has a lot to do with it. Like, I do and recognize that I, career-wise have made so much progress over the past 6 months even.
yeah.
It's insane. But, like, I don't know, just sometimes it feels like the little bit isn't enough.
Mm,
I don't know.
yeah. No, I
Yeah.
mean, one thing that I think plays an impact is media and the way that we are shown. I mean, a 2 hour movie, 2 hours can seem like a long time, but to show somebody going from like say Captain America or whatever. It's just the first movie that comes to mind. He's the scrawny little kid and he gets beat up, but he's got a good heart. And then he gets injected with super serum and by the end of the movie he's a badass and he saved the world in the course of 2 hours. And we get that in
Mhm.
Disney movies and just like we get all sorts of media talking about oh, a new story about the athlete of the week who started, 10 years ago and now they're great or whatever. Like you get the condensed story so often and it's so not representative of the reality of like how life feels. I think movies do a really bad job and media in general does a really bad job of capturing the the super slow long burn nuance of life.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And I mean, media is getting even more rapid fire. Um, Everybody likes talking about how our attention spans are getting lower. So having that same patience with yourself is like it's really hard.
Anyway.
Let's the other thing that comes to my mind is talking about the second arrow in terms of patience with
Mhm.
yourself and having patience with your impatience. Like when you're in this phase and you're just slumping or whatever you want to call it.
Hmm.
Not being like you said like
Hmm.
I should give myself more credit for how far I've come. you should do that. But you shouldn't
You
be
should.
like, I'm such an idiot. Why don't I give myself more credit? You know? Like, oh, why can't I see that I've come such a far way? Stupid, stupid, stupid. You know? And then just like, that's that like second arrow. You're already like, I don't know, we go through phases. You're not in your most
Yeah.
cheery phase.
Okay, I don't know why you would say that.
I actually, I have no reason to believe that you're in like a terrible, terrible spot. I just know that you have like, I don't know, a future ahead of you.
Mm.
If you had no future ahead of you, life would be easy. You know, if you had no cool choices to make, if you had no choices, if you had no opportunities, then there would be no stress. You would just follow your, you know, boring whatever and keep doing that forever.
Man, the feeling to hear that quite literally your biggest idol in life believes that you have a genuine future like ahead of you. Hmm.
Sorry. I had an
Means a
invasive
lot.
I had an invasive thought that you I was going cry, cry, cry. Chat, start chanting. Cry, cry.
No, because I will after this ends, because it's been a building.
Yeah.
It will continue to build.
Oh, Max says that she's or that they're crying. And that's nothing though. I always make you cry. That's I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
Yeah,
pretty
you're an easy
Max, that's
cry.
pretty normal for
You're an
you.
easy cry. No.
No, it's difficult. It's difficult to get me emotional. I will say I'm a very numb person when it comes to things.
Mhm.
So typically I don't like even if, for my for Christmas last year, my parents had gotten me NHL tickets to go see my favorite team and I was like, "Wow, this is great. Thanks." And they were like, "That's it?" And I was like, "It's great." I
Yeah.
don't know. Thanks.
Yeah. It's
Mhm.
yeah. I've been
Yeah.
crying more. I've
Yeah,
been
no.
crying more.
I just Okay, well, and I don't like that for you, but I do like that for you.
No, I love it. I that's like you can tell the way I say it. I'm proud of it. Like I know I've told it you guys a million times, but I've been trying to like relearn how to cry. I never cry.
Yeah, that's been a problem for me too.
Mhm. Yeah. Not
Yeah,
that
that's been a problem for me too.
yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm laughing because this is so unrelated. But I'm on Discord right now with you guys. I also have Spotify on in the background just because I need some background noise, or else my ADHD goes like, ooh. uh, yeah, and Flow Like Trudeau just came on. And it's
Nice.
so not the mood for this playlist that I have on either. It's like it went from John Denver to Flow Like Trudeau.
I love it when we're in a live stream and we're just deep, deep thoughts, deep chat, talking about something, and somebody comes in, they're just like, play Flow Like Trudeau, and everybody's just like, read the room. It's always
Yes,
amazing.
yes, read the room.
Yeah,
That's me at Spotify. I think I had it queued probably.
that would be it.
It's so unrelated.
Everybody hates that their phones are always listening to them now, but wouldn't it be cool if Spotify's algorithm listened to you, and if it heard you talking about something deep, it would be like, oh, let's shuffle like let's shuffle more sad music. That'd be really cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, like I said, I don't wanna say I wish I was sad, but that would make it so much easier if I could, like, pinpoint, that it was a depressed feeling, like, because it's
Yeah.
not. I'm not hopeless, like, I'm fucking happy to be alive. That's
Mm-hmm.
not the problem.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that it's overwhelming to exist.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I'd say that in a non-concerning way, for
Yeah.
anyone listening. I
Yeah.
say that in the most non-concerning way possible.
Mm-hmm. When you said that, I just looked around at my room, just sort of looking at colors in a meditatey sort of way. I'm so happy that I learned how to do this. It's so nice.
Yeah,
I know that you
yeah.
can't just learning to just sort of like snap into that state where your mind is just blank is such a sweet deal. It takes a long time though. No, it doesn't. That's not true. It literally can happen
Mm-mm.
instantly if you wanted to. But just to like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just I would highly recommend it to anybody listening. If you can't shut your brain off, the chatter in your brain, that's a pretty big deficit in terms of your ability to be at peace and enjoy your life.
We should do like a guided meditation type thing on this. I feel like that'd be neat.
That'd be cool.
If we led like a guided meditation.
Yeah. I wonder I think
Yeah.
that if I learned how to do that or if I put some thought into it, I could probably be pretty good at it.
Yo, hear me out. Hear me out. This genius idea I just had. Hear me out. Ursa Horizon collab with Crisis Team. And so it's like an Ursa album where we're like just giving like affirmations in the background.
That would be amazing.
Yo.
I just love the idea of seeing
Yo.
Ursa Horizon featuring Crisis Team. And it's like people would think it's gonna be some sort of like grime drill underground rap song. Like Crisis Team
Yeah, we're
sounds
no,
like it would
it's
be
just like
yeah.
no. It's like a bowl, like you're just playing bowl, and then it's like, don't kill yourself. And then ah! Because you do that screaming thing. Yo, where is this happening? Shit.
Yeah. Oh my god. Guided meditation. Yeah. Um
Hmm.
that would be fun. That would be great for Ursa. I should just do
Ursa
that.
Crisis collab.
Yeah.
Can we just do that right now?
Ursa Crisis? Yeah, we can do that once the do we blend that into the podcast? I don't know how to do
That's what
that.
I'm
If we
saying. Can we just do an Ursa Cross Crisis freestyle right now?
Ursa me- guided meditation freestyle. We can do that.
Freestyle Crisis.
Ursa
My
Crisis
whole life.
sounds
If I had to pick one phrase to describe my entire life, it's freestyle crisis. Describe your life in 2 words. Freestyle crisis.
freestyle crisis. An interpretive crisis.
Interpretive crisis.
I
Holy
like
shit.
that. What would I say if I was leading a guided meditation right now?
Close your eyes. Step 1.
I was laughing because like the first thing I thought was like I hate meditating with my eyes closed.
Okay, open your eyes.
Close your eyes. Now open them again.
Blankly
Look to
stare
look to
into
you.
the
Now look
camera.
back at me. I'm on a horse. Oh, that'd be all right, everybody. Close your eyes. Close your eyes for the guided meditation.
And then open them.
Now open them. Are you meditating yet?
Are you free?
Why aren't you loving yourself?
Don't die.
Be at peace with the universe, goddammit.
Just be happy.
That'd be amazing. That'd be a great album of just like a heavy metal breakdown. And then boom, hit the bell. You are one with the universe.
Yo.
Mhm.
Shit.
Yeah. Self is a
Oh yeah,
construct of the
Prof
ego.
is right. I learned about house hippos today.
Oh, interesting.
Mm.
Yeah. Did you see the commercial?
I've saw both of them. I saw the first one and the second.
Nice. Classic. Um, I feel like maybe I should get
Yes, the Canadian house hippo.
a little house hippo. That'd be sweet. I should get a little hippo and use it in my videos.
This is so unrelated, but now that you said that, when you said I should get a house, for some reason, I don't know why, the first thought that came into my head, oh, merch. But I don't want a hippo on a merch. But I have been brainstorming a merch idea that I think you're gonna be excited to see.
Cool. I do like the idea of a conservation slash like save the house hippo um sort of design. Yeah.
House hippo saver safety alliance.
Yeah.
Save the hippos.
Wait, save hippos. Save hippo saving hippos, and then we need an IT so that the acronym is shit. That was like
In Thailand.
yeah.
Saving hippos in Thailand.
Um I was thinking about like
IT.
that would be yeah,
Internet
that'd be amazing.
technicians. IT.
Saving hippos in trouble. Oh my god, Scandium.
Yo! Shit.
That's perfect.
Shh. Join the shit club.
Yeah, join shit.
That's so funny. So BarkBox, I don't know if you guys have that up in BarkBox is like a monthly subscription for dogs, and of course mine gets it. And so a while ago they had this thing where they had like squirrels hack their account, and so then they started what they call the Ass Club, and it's the anti-squirrel squirrel club. So now my dog has a hooded sweatshirt and it says Ass Club member or something. Member of the Ass Club.
That's funny.
Shit. I love that. Shit.
Yeah. Saving hippos.
How
in
did
trouble.
we get here?
I like that. I like that a lot.
How did we get here? We went from my career tornado to
Yeah. We did
saving
a nice...
hippos in
See,
trouble.
You can take a 180 in life whenever you would like. It's not that
Anytime.
No. Is there anything else? I don't know. I feel like I sort of started by talking about a sense of self.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes, like, I was just thinking in the last little bit when we were just joking about stuff, it seems like whenever I'm joking with people in the moment, just enjoying myself, I'm really not thinking about who I am or where I'm going or all these things. And it seems like whenever I do something to let that disappear, I'm way happier. It's important to think about your future.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I don't know. It just seems like pretty consistently in those moments when I'm just laughing really hard or listening to a song that I really like, all those things, I can allow that sort of stress to float away, and it's really nice. So, just getting a break from it is nice.
I'm not gonna be cheesy, and I'm gonna I'm gonna let this hit whoever it may hit. But there's a certain person on the planet who I feel as though I can really just not worry about who I am when I'm with them, and I think that's why I'm so grateful to be able to spend time with them. And I think I don't appreciate that enough.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that I have definitely undervalued the importance of connections.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a really good thing to bring up. I know I think a lot about what I need to do to make what you should do for yourself, how to self-love, but like if you are doing it alone, it's just harder. There's no need to put yourself through that sort of tough experience all the time. Some alone time is great, but I forget who I was talking to about with this earlier, but oh yeah, I was talking with I forget who it was now. Was that earlier in the podcast? I was talking about balance and how people oh yeah, I remember now. But anyways, I was talking about how people would love it if something could just be good or bad. Use the
Yeah.
example of exercise. Like, exercise for an hour or two and it's good for you. But if you exercise 24/7 with no breaks, you will die. And it's like, well, is exercise good for you or not then? Because I thought it was good for you sometimes, but if you do it too much, it could kill you? What? That doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense. Like, people wish that it could just be good or bad with things. But when it comes to like self growth, spending time with friends, you know, pushing forward, resting, none of them are good or bad. There's just a time for them, and then there's a time to not use them. And yeah, it's
Hmm.
just like relationships are so important.
Yeah, and I feel like they're important in a lot of ways. Like, not only do we need relationships where, like, I don't know, in a loving relationship, like like a sexual relationship. But I feel like we also need relationships with friends, and we need
Mm-hmm.
relationships with family. And I think that people don't give enough credit to the different dynamics of relationships that we can have with people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're all important of their own nature.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Even relationships with strangers. Like, just
Yeah.
saying hi to somebody on the street can do incredible things for your day. Just having this is why small talk can be nice sometimes, honestly. People like to rag on
It
small
is.
talk, but it's just a break. It's just like a break from the internal sometimes, you know? It's nice to just talk about the weather or whatever it is, like just come out of your internal for a bit and
Yeah.
enjoy the outside world. It's nice. It's not as scary as we build it up to be. Yeah.
Mm-mm. Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah.
Wow, this has been an interesting one.
Yeah, really interesting. We're just shy of an hour though, so honestly,
Yeah.
yeah. Is this enough crisis for one day?
No, I would like to dive farther into the crisis, but I don't know where to like what the crisis is.
Maybe that's the crisis.
He said keep going for over an hour.
For
Why?
oh, but prof, then the files get so big
Why?
and they're hard to edit.
YouTube algorithm. Prof, no one cares about the algorithm
No.
except you. You're the only person who cares about the algorithm.
Yeah, that's I've uploaded a lot of videos over an hour and they flop just as well as the short ones.
I want this to grow.
I appreciate that.
I want to be mean, but I can't think of anything mean to say.
Should we passive aggressively sit here for another 8 minutes in silence? Just.
Staring contest?
It's so weird when I open, like, I never actually open my eyes. Like, I have, like, fairly closed eyes most of the time. So
No,
even when
same. Mine are always like half closed.
yeah. These strings on my pants are fun, though. I've been playing with them.
I've been playing with a noodle.
I love that we're both just like talking while we have our fidgets down below. That's amazing.
Yeah, literally, we're like under the desk and like
That's
going ham on this
hilarious.
fucking noodle.
That's hilarious. Yeah. No, these are new
Uh,
pants.
Plus, oh, he said he's not ready for the after party. Okay, well, fun fact for you, Canada professor, Mr. Sir. Um, I am the party. So there's nothing to be ready for.
Yeah, how about that,
Hailey,
Chris?
dive into my crisis. Okay. Two things. One, hand check, Chris says. Hand check. Gone. Uh 2. 3 actually. I have 3 things. 1 was hand check. 2 was Chris's idea of meditation time, LOL. I think we should do that in a second after I address thing number 3,
Okay.
which is that Max wants me to dive into their crisis.
Cool.
So I think we should.
Yeah.
Max. So, for those who do not know the situation right now, Max is having a difficult time because their best friend is moving in less than a week to like far away. And now also their best friend today has now confessed that they have feelings for Max. So, they're in a bit of a sticky situation. And so
Damn.
Max was like, "How should I feel about it?" And so Max, here's a couple situations for you. Number 1, we're not gonna tell you how to feel because you should feel the way that you feel, and that's it. I think that any way that you feel is a valid response to the situation, and I think that you should give yourself credit for feeling the way that you do, whatever it is, and it's okay if you don't know what the feeling is.
Um, that's hilarious. I was literally just gonna say like, how should I feel? No, no, like, what do you feel? Yeah. No, that's yeah. Um, eh, during this, yeah, you don't know how you feel. That's totally fine. I feel like
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel. Oh, you have dated before. Okay, cool. Um,
Mm.
I was gonna say, lots of times I don't know how I feel actually means I feel something I feel something that's a little bit mean or scary and I don't really want to admit it. So, lots of times when it's you don't know what to feel, it's not like you might not consciously know, but whatever you're feeling, if you were to say it out loud, it might come across as like, ooh, like that's mean or like that's really honest or that's tough, you know, like um it might be like I don't know, either saying yes or like if you were to say no to this person, you know, you might just not want that to be the case because there could be negative results or whatever.
Mm.
And I understand how complicated the issue is. Is like it's just complicated, and yeah, I guess my point is, don't be afraid to get a piece of paper out or your journal and write. And if you end up writing something that comes across as mean or judgmental or like something that you would not want that person to hear, or even a thought that you're a little bit embarrassed of, don't be worried. Don't be afraid to do that because it's important to get that out there and then look at it and be like, whoa, is that actually how I feel? There's a good chance that you might need to say that just so that you can be like, no, that's not actually how I feel, and then move through it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. One thing that
Yeah.
came to mind might be like some frustration about like, oh, like why are you saying that? Like why are you moving? Like this is so stupid. Like some anger for like, oh, this is stupid. Like why are you moving? Like that anger is something right away you'd be like, no, no, no. Like they can't control it. I shouldn't be angry, but you should write that out. You should write like I'm mad at my friend because they're moving. Why did they put me in this situation? This is frustrating. Like this is such a difficult situation. You know, write that out. Get that out there. Stuff like that.
Yeah. Uh,
Hmm.
it's such a sticky situation, I feel like.
Yeah. Um.
Because if you admit that you also have feelings, then you guys fall in love and they're like way over there and you're way over here, then, you know.
Yeah.
Not that I have a problem with long distance relationships, considering I'm borderline in one, but just besides that.
Hmm. Um. Yeah. I feel like similarly, it might be a really good idea, Max, to have some other things. Just pour some energy into some other things. Don't be don't
Yeah.
be obsessing over
Yeah.
what to do constantly, because that's not going to it's much more effective to say go play some volleyball or go listen to some music or go write a new song or do something like that and then come back to this. I think that you're going
Yeah.
to have better luck making a good decision if you do that. If you take a break from thinking about this sometimes. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
100%. 100%.
yeah. I'm giving you that advice
Okay.
because, like I said, I can't tell you how to feel. But whatever you feel, um, yeah, it's the type of thing where it's hard work. Feeling your feelings is hard work. You need to give
Yeah.
yourself a break from that sometimes.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. It is totally reasonable to take a break from feeling and just do something where it's a mindless activity and you just exist.
Yeah. And like it's not like
Yeah.
you're not I don't know, it's just like fatigue. It's a lot like if you were in the gym or something. I don't know. Like you can't just do bench press for 8 hours straight with no breaks. It's not
But
it's
why?
but I want to get my chest to get stronger. I know, but you have to take a break and recover and then come back in a week and maybe do some squats too.
Okay, so we have 1 minute until we're at the algorithm specific time. So
Is that
what are we doing for our last minute?
did we start at oh, my recording
I
says
don't know.
56 minutes. 56:30.
Oh, okay, so we
We have three and
how
a
many
half
minutes are in an
minutes.
hour?
Yeah.
60? So
We have three and a
okay,
half
what are we
minutes
doing for
to
3.5 minutes?
um
Wait, so no, technically we have don't we have 4.5 because we want it to be just over an hour?
yeah, 3.5 to the hour.
Okay, so let's do 4.5.
I love that we're just
Recap the
torturing.
episode. He
Yeah.
says recap the episode. I don't think we should do that because I don't want to be I don't want people to not watch.
No, I wanted Max to say I'm scared about going into something because of my first relationship. And
Max.
just to be clear, was that first relationship with this same person? Because you said that you did date this person, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken. No,
I don't
different
think it
person.
was.
Cool.
Yeah.
Um, I would say that you should probably take a piece of paper and r- write about your first relationship and try to understand paper. Try to understand what you liked about it. Because if you were in a relationship, you liked something about the person. Figure out what you liked about them. Figure out what you didn't like about them. Think about the ways that maybe they treated you poorly. Think about the ways that you should have
Pencil.
acted differently. Like just write about this relationship and understand why you're scared of going into the situation that is like that. And you should be able to get to a point where you can decide either A, okay, I've identified what I'm scared of happening again. Now I can avoid that happening again. Or I'm scared of this happening again. I don't know how to avoid that. So am I willing to take that risk? And if that is the case, like if you either way is fine. You can be like, okay, I'm willing to take that risk. I'm willing to risk getting hurt again, or I'm not willing to take that risk. I feel like going to your friend who has confessed their feelings with that and being like, I was in this relationship and I felt this and I am not ready to take that risk again. I feel like that's something that would really help them understand and would put things on really good terms. Like if you can give them that level of communication, I think that that'll be really, really beneficial because the thing that you need to do with your friend right now, whether you want to be in a relationship with them or not, you need to give them honesty and you need to give them communication. And if you can do that the best that you can, like if you can give them the best reason for yes or the best reason for no, I think that that will give your friendship slash relationship a really good chance going forwards. If you're just like, you're leaving, so I don't want to talk to you anymore. This is awkward. Bye. Then like that's not going to end well, you know? So put a little bit of
No,
thought into
I think you
this.
should do that.
Yeah. What are you feeling now? If you It's interesting. I don't want to assume anything that you're thinking or feeling, but I don't know. That like there's just so many things you could be feeling right now. You need to just analyze it a little bit so that you can communicate it well, because it sounds like communicating with your friend is going to be really important. And it could go either way and it could go excellently. Um and I think that if you can just, yeah, sort out all those feelings, get a piece of paper, write with no real goal, just write everything that you're feeling. Eventually you'll get to a point where you get like a, hey, I think this, like you'll get to I was talking to Haley about this. It's like I just start writing and then eventually I get to a sentence where I'm like, oh yeah, that's an important
Yeah.
sentence, and you circle the sentence and then you just keep writing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
That's how it works though, because I was really skeptical about your idea of doing that. And I was like, "Ah, I need to write with a purpose though." But then I just did it anyway, and I like got a handful of sentences in, and I was like, "This is the one."
It's true. It's so important to just this idea of purpose. What is it really? I feel like trying to know where you're going before you go there is really hard to do, and it's sort of like borders on arrogance that you could ever claim to think that you know it's going to come out of your mind or your heart. You know, your brain likes to think that it knows what your heart is going to tell you, but your heart has totally different plans. And when you just start writing from your heart and your feelings, then like there's going to be truths come out that your heart or your brain was like, it's going to be a little bit humbling for your brain to be like, oh, I didn't come up, I wouldn't have known that, but your heart did know it. So yeah.
So, Max, I'm gonna get vulnerable here for a minute, which is tough for me because I don't ever open up to anybody about anything. I not do it on a live broad stream, right?
Yeah. I was just
So,
laughing because it's like we are 2 minutes over the hour. We could cut it right here.
we
No,
could,
yeah,
yeah. So
yeah,
all I'm gonna say is, all
yeah.
right, Max, I'm gonna open up,
No, no,
and then
no.
we're
I
gonna
don't
end
want to cut it. I
recording.
was just joking. Please open up because it'll be amazingly
No,
helpful for
no,
Max.
for the sense of it, I think it would be funny as hell if you say I'm going to, and then we cut it.
Just cut it right there.
Yeah, no. But anyway, Max, what I was gonna say was, the no, so the trauma that the relationship trauma that I had, um, like a while ago, right? The relationship or situationship, whatever you want to call it, that I'm in now, um, looked very similar to that in the beginning, and so it was very difficult for me to draw a boundary for myself, to decide whether or not this new relationship I'm in slash was going into, whether or not that was going to be a healthy one or whether it was just going to be a repeat of everything that happened. And I think for me, trying to find the clarity between, is this relationship going to end up that way, or is this an actual healthy relationship, and am I allowed to feel it and go through it? There was a lot of times for me where I just was so panicked and overwhelmed and said I should really just stop talking to this person, just on the off chance that it does happen again, and then I won't get heartbroken over it because we just stop talking to them and we cut it off, then there's no chance of it happening. But the one of the biggest things that I've learned, coming out of it and working through trauma based response, is that You have to let yourself be vulnerable in order for the best things to happen to you. Like, if you're not willing to go through something and you're not willing to kind of let yourself be open and exist, then it's it's not, there's no chance that good things are going to happen to you. So even though like it might be a bad outcome, you're never going to know what the outcome is going to be unless you let it happen. So I think that you really need to go with your gut here and just decide what your gut is telling you and go with that because I think that no one knows the situation like you do.
Hmm.
Okay, that's it. Sorry.
That's awesome. Yeah, that goes for anybody going through anything. I saw that Tim Hortons said they have girlfriend problems. We can talk about it a little bit more maybe in the after party, but no matter who you are and where you are and what you're going through, I feel like give your gut some credit. It like you know what's best for you, and if it ends up being one thing today and one thing tomorrow, that's okay too. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
you'll figure it out.
But Max, here's the thing. If the situation does happen again, mm, I mean, I guess it happens again, but you're never gonna know. Like this could be the best relationship of your life, and you're not gonna know that unless you allow it to happen. I'm just saying. I think you kind of have to. It sounds to me like you made up your mind and that you want to be a part of it, but you don't want to because you're scared that the whole trauma is going to happen over again. And
Hmm.
what I'm telling you is that not everyone is going to be the exact same as that person. And that was the hardest thing for me to realize
Yeah.
going into a new relationship was that not everyone was going to be like that.
Hmm. Yeah. Wow.
Anyway.
I love that
Mm,
because very close to the start of this episode, I was talking about your past and not getting too attached to your past. And I like ending on this. I like ending
yeah.
on give it a try. It could be the best thing that ever happens to you. I like that.
Yeah.
It yeah. It's an upbeat it's an upbeat to end on. And
Yeah. All right. That's been the OGR podcast.
and sometimes the crisis team just needs a win.
Yes. Oh, a big fat W for the crisis team.
Another big fat W for the crisis team. All right. This has been another episode of the OGR podcast. I like this because I feel like we needed to get one of these. We needed just like a chat session. This was good.
Yeah,
This was really
this
nice.
was very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Cool. And and we're over an hour, so it's gonna absolutely explode onto the YouTube algorithm.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna go viral.
All right. See you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye, guys.